Good evening, everyone, and tonight I'm going to be reviewing my favorite action thriller, and it is the movie Predator, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. And it stars a whole bunch of other really badass, tough male actors, including Jesse Ventura, Carl Weathers, and a bunch of other people whose names I can't recall at the moment. But every man in this is basically a really big, tough, muscular, and ass-kicking kind of badass. So, and Arnold, of course, is the ultimate badass in this, playing the head of this CIA team. His name's Dutch in the film. And basically, the film is about this, they're sent into the forest to rescue hostages from a guerrilla force. And, but what they don't know is that they were sent into enemy territory, but something else is stalking them, and it's not quite human. There's going to be a lot of spoilers in this, so beware, but let me just turn the camera around. Like I said, there's going to be tons of spoilers in this, so if you haven't seen the film yet, then just letting you know, there's going to be spoilers. So yeah, they're sent into the rainforest to rescue these hostages from a guerrilla force, and they basically start to realize they're being stalked by something that they can't really see. You know, they just get glimpses of it here and there. It starts to pick them off one by one, and in very brutal ways. Basically cuts them open, takes their insides out, skins them alive, and hangs them upside down in a tree, just like a predator would of, preying on an animal. And it turns out that this thing is actually an alien from another world and has been sent to Earth to basically stalk and hunt humans for sport. So this movie is very action-packed. I mean, it is so manly that you might spontaneously start growing facial hair as you're watching it. It's like, all the guys in this, like I said, are really tough and badass. Arnold Schwarzenegger is so big and muscular in this, as are all the guys, but especially Arnold. The movie has a sense of humor to it. You know, there's lots of great one-liners. You know, like, stick around is one that you probably would recognize. You are one ugly motherfucker is another. The story's very simple. You know, it's just basically this group, this team trying to survive in the jungle against this predator. Arnold is really amazing in this. Like, as an action star, there is just, like, no one better, in my opinion, than his performance in this. He is the ultimate badass. He is so tough in this. He has this kind of dry sense of humor to him, but he's extremely focused. Very, very calm, very centered. Nothing phases him in this, even when he realizes what, in fact, is hunting them is not human. He never loses his cool in this. All the other guys, too, are awesome. Jesse Ventura, as many of you know, is another really big action star who went on to go into politics, just like Arnie did. But he's fantastic in this, too. He's even bigger than Arnold is, and the weapons in this are really loud and big, and there's lots of explosions in this, lots of action scenes with gunplay, which were all done in real time. There was no CG effects in this. It was real explosions, real squibs going off from the guns, all that. Some of the most exciting and explosive action I've ever seen in this movie. The alien in this is revealed in glimpses. You don't really see him fully until the very end. You just see bits and pieces of him here and there. At one point he gets wounded and you see part of his leg, and as he's reaching into this toolbox to take the bullet out of his leg and all this. It's not until the last, I would say, half hour of the film that you really get a good look at him. But he was designed by Stan Winston, and he is an awesome looking creature. I mean, he's enormous. He's at least 3 times bigger than Arnold is. So he makes Arnold look like a wimp in comparison. And he wears this, helmet over his head, and he has these kind of weird dreadlocks. And he's extremely muscular, and his skin is kind of modeled like that of a lizard, and he has really razor sharp claws on his hands. And, he wears human bones as decoration on his body. Like, he is just a really scary but very formidable and impressive looking being when you see him. And the unmasking at the end of the film is pretty shocking. I mean, I think it's one of the best unmaskings ever done in a movie. You really don't know what to expect when he starts to take his helmet off in his final confrontation with Arnold, Dutch's character. And when the mask comes off, it's pretty grotesque the way his face looks. He has mandibles, so his mouth is in all different directions, and it kind of opens and closes. And, just very, hideous face, like very demonic looking. So he really is a very scary alien, and very psychotic too. Yeah, so basically that's the whole story. It's these agents going up against the alien. They all get killed one by one. And it keeps escalating, like, as this alien stalks them closer and closer. And they keep setting up traps to try to capture him and draw him in. And basically by the end, Dutch is all alone with this alien, and they're facing off together, which is, the greatest challenge that this alien has ever faced. So as a pure action movie, it's fantastic. It's very entertaining, incredibly intense, especially near the end when it's just Arnie and the alien. It's incredibly intense. It's got a really great musical score too that really creates a sense of tension and menace. And it's pretty awesome how Arnold takes this alien being out in the end. He uses the Force to help him, and he becomes almost like this shamanistic kind of Indian by the end. And outsmarts the alien ultimately, so he shows who the smarter species is, right? But it's just a fantastic movie. It's a movie that, the more I watch it, the more entertaining it gets in a way. It's just one of those movies that you can kind of watch over and over again and always get the same feeling from it. As all cult classics are like that, so. And one of Arnie's best films, if not his best action film. I mean, he's been in a lot of dramas and stuff too, like Junior and Kindergarten Cop. But as far as a pure action hero, like, this is the ultimate, in my opinion. The special effects in this were pretty good. The puppet, or the costume designed by Stan Winston for the alien is very impressive. I already mentioned all that. The whole movie is set in the rainforest. It is a real rainforest, and the terrain is very hilly and bumpy. Like, there's no flat areas anywhere. So it feels very tribal and very primal and very powerful. I mean, when you see the actors sweating and through their, like, camouflage makeup, you can tell it's real sweat coming down their faces there. It's not spray-on sweat or whatever you call it. It is real sweat. Like, these guys suffered to make this film. And, other than the alien effect of the alien vision, kind of, where everything kind of looks infrared, and the alien has a very poor sense of vision, so he just sees all these colors, and then he has this imaging system which allows him to zero in on any movement and target it with this gun that's on his shoulder. But, and then, aside from that, there's a brief scene at the beginning of the film where you see the alien vessel as it's flying in and then releasing the pod to go to Earth with the alien inside. So other than those two effects, there really isn't any special effects in this. Well, the explosions, I guess you could say, are a special effect, but they were all done in real life. They were real explosions. So there's no CG in this, right? This was before CG existed, so... Yeah, I mean, it's subtle. It's not like a big sci-fi film. It's set on Earth in a very primal location. And, but somehow that makes it work even better, having the alien be inside this very natural environment. And it just somehow makes it even more creepy and convincing in a way. that the alien would choose that as his hunting ground. So, and of course, the rainforest looks stunning. Like, the cinematography in this is stunning. So yeah, it's a great action film. If you're looking for something that's just pure action with lots of gunplay, a little bit of comedy, lots of great one-liners, a somewhat simple story, but the story is not really that important. It's, it's about survival. It's about a man surviving against all odds and coming out in the end battered and bruised, but still alive. So, and that's kind of how it ends. It ends you with that feeling of having gone on this crazy, and very intense and thrilling action adventure. So, well, one more thing I should mention is the level of violence in this. The violence isn't really extreme, but there are some pretty gruesome moments. A moment where you see all these men skinned alive in a tree, or skinned and left upside down in a tree. They're not alive anymore, of course, but you kind of see what the alien does to his victims after he kills them, and it's a little bit brutal. I mean, it's basically what a hunter would do, keeping trophies and things like that. So you can imagine. It's only done in brief segments, though. Like, the violence is not gratuitous, but it is R-rated violence. So, it does not shy away from the fact that this alien sees human beings as trophies, and he's a total psychopath that has a huge bloodlust. So. But I would not define it as a horror film. It's not really horrific enough to be a horror film. It's very much an action thriller. So, I think that's all I can really say about it. It's a great movie. I love it. I mean, it's very much a very masculine film. There's only one female character in the whole movie. And, but if you just love great action films and you're looking for something to get your blood pumping and make you feel excited, just a really exciting, intense, action-packed, and scary film with Arnold Schwarzenegger in one of the roles that I think defined him as an action star. So, Arnold Schwarzenegger in Predator. Hope you enjoyed that review, everyone. And I'll be doing another one in a few days. Have a great night and enjoy whatever you're doing. Bye-bye.